It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go.
He says ta-da.
And Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more.
This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S.
It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome back to the Menangle Angle. My name's Jessica Watkins and joining me is my co-host David Wonson, who is Club Menangle's General Manager for Racing Operations. Wono, well, a fantastic 10-race card last Saturday night, and I think it's fair to say it was definitely headlined by the Max Delight v Swayze battle, and Max Delight came out on top there.
Yeah, amazing result for David Aiken, Max Delight, and Will Rickson. Hasn't he great affinity with that horse in such a short space of time? Got onto his back, and if there was one way, that was the way he was going to beat him, just get on his back and out-sprint him down the home straight. They still went 152 over the 2300. It wasn't as if they were walking either. Both horses in the prime. Be interesting where they're heading off to next. I think Swayze's heading off to Western Australia maybe for the slot race. Max Delight, maybe he's heading towards the Inter Dominion again, another Inter Dominion campaign. But yeah, it was good to see those horses. And we had those Nutrien heats with all those nice juveniles going around. It was a long night, but it was really good racing.
You just spoke about Will Rickson there, and what a month he's had, because he took his first drive in a Miracle Mile, and that was aboard Max back on Saturday the 8th of March. And since then, he's gone on to win the $100,000 gold bracelet up there at Bathurst for his mum and dad, Peter and Cindy. And then, of course, that battle that we just spoke about there with Swayze, where he took that out as well. So an incredible month on the track for Will. A massive show coming up today as well, because we're going to be speaking with local Menangle Park trainer and driver Rickie Alchin. He has a big weekend coming up, starting with engagements tonight at Penrith before the Nutrien Final tomorrow night down there at Melton for the 2-year-old fillies, where he'll line up Conciliate. Then on Saturday night in the Golden Easter Egg, he's got his Group 1 winning filly Sugar Pie Honey engaged, and he also has 2 horses running at Goulburn on Sunday. So a big week for his team. So we'll chat with Rickie about those runners, and then we'll also get stuck into our 8-race preview with this Saturday night's card, of course, headlined by the Golden Easter Egg, like I just mentioned. So, Wono, let's get straight into it. Wono, what was the best thing you saw out of Club Menangle this week?
Oh, I think we've just mentioned it. You know, it was the Will Rickson drive, 2 drives actually. Max Delight, what a fantastic drive that was. And then the week before with his drive on Gunner Reload, they have a Kevin Newman medal. I think Will Rickson's short price favourite at the moment, because his drives on Gunner Reload and Max Delight just first class. He certainly informed the big giraffe. So, yeah, just looking forward to seeing what he can produce this weekend.
Big giraffe, that was remnants of when we gave him a phone call that time, and his profile picture of his contact for his phone number was a giraffe. So that's where he's got that nickname from. The best thing that I saw this week from Club Menangle was that we launched our Pacing for Pink campaign last Friday. So we're really excited to now announce that we've had Coots Lawyers and Conveyancers come on as our event partner for our race night for the next 2 years. And of course, that race night features 4 Group 1s, and I'm speaking of the Queen Elizabeth II Mile, the New South Wales Oaks Final, the MacArthur Mile for the trotting mares, and also the New South Wales Trotting Oaks. But there's also that charity component with the Pink Affair charity dinner up there on level 2, where we're raising as many funds as we can for the McGrath Foundation. But Club Menangle will also be proudly donating right throughout the month of May for success at our track here. So for every winner that's driven by a driver in the pink pants, every female training win here at our track, and every horse that carries saddlecloth number 8 here that wins at Club Menangle, will be donating $200 for each of those wins. So a really busy month of May coming up, and a great race night coming up on Saturday the 10th of May as well.
Yeah, I really suggest anyone listening, please go onto the website, have a look at getting tickets for that function up there, the Pacing for Pink function. Dress up in your best pink. It is a really, really great cause. The club love getting behind it. But no, it's fantastic racing that night as well. So we'll be hosting all those Group 1 winning owners down in the restaurant. There'll be a great atmosphere here. So please get on the website and get a ticket early.
Well, sectional stars, just the one horse to come out of last Saturday night's meeting, and that was from the mares race last Saturday with the 5th placed horse Ideal Dreams for Ashley DeLosa. She recorded the fastest third quarter of the race in 27.7 and also the fastest last half in 55. She's drawn 10 in the TaylorMade Lombo Ladyship Pace this Saturday night. She'll come out of 9 with the emergency withdrawn from her inside, but she was definitely my sectional star. And another one that I'm going to give a special mention to was CUR in the free-for-all because he went a 54 last half. It was the quickest last half of that race, which featured Max Delight and Swayze. So he's definitely knocking on the door for a win, albeit he lines up in the Goulburn Cup this Sunday. Drawn the outside of the front row there, and Captain Ravishing's also in the race.
Amazing job you do here, Jess, with the sectional stars. Like CR, not in a million years would have you looked at him going on his form. He had a 9th, but you actually highlighted him as a sectional star last week. He made an amazing race, come 4th in that free-for-all. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the 100-1 anymore because...
No, the price is gone now.
Yeah, it's gone, totally gone. I know he's drawn a bit wide at Goulburn, but yeah, you're nailing these sectional stars and people. You've got to follow it through because some of them are really good odds. Like, if even CR, as I said, 100-1 last week, each way he was just a fraction off coming 3rd. So, no, well done. You're doing a great job there.
Thanks, Wono. Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, Wono, our very special guest on today's edition of the Menangle Angle has a very busy weekend coming up, and I speak of local Menangle Park trainer and driver Rickie Alchin, who's currently down in Victoria ahead of the Nutrien Series Finals tomorrow night. Rickie, how are you today?
Good, thanks, Jess. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's great to have you here on the Menangle Angle. As I mentioned in the opener there, you have a really busy weekend coming up with engagements getting underway tonight at Penrith before Melton on Friday. Back to Menangle here on Saturday and then Goulburn on Sunday. Tell us just how busy is this time of year for your team?
Yeah, it's quite busy, Jess. Obviously, it sort of goes in carnival, so we've just finished Bathurst, and then we had the sales prior to that, and you end up with a lot of yearlings coming your way, which adds to the workload. But we always get through it and get by, and we look forward to having nice horses that we're able to travel with to these carnivals.
Hey, Rick, Wono here, mate. You must be really proud of the team you got there. Rickie Hunt does an amazing job because you do. At winter, you spend a fair bit of the time up in Queensland with another, like your team. Ash does a fantastic job, and I think you got young Declan Murphy there as well.
Yeah, that's right. How are you, Wono? Look, I've been fortunate right through that. We've always had a good quality lot of staff working for us. But yeah, without Rickie Hunt, he's been with me nearly 10 years now, and he knows me back to front. I know him back to front, and he does so much work. It's not funny. You say people aren't irreplaceable, but he is irreplaceable. We'd definitely be lost without him. Ash, she's come a long way. She's been there coming up to 5 years, and Declan's been there over 12 months now. So, it's good to have loyal staff that, that know how you work and operate, and it does make my life a lot easier.
Well, you probably hit the nail on the head there being loyal, because it is an industry where stable staff can move from stable to stable pretty quickly. But like you've just mentioned, Rickie Hunt there, I know he's pretty easy to look after for a bonus. It doesn't hurt to have a case of beer on hand for him. But, been there 10 years. Ash been there for 5 years. As I said, loyalty's very hard in this industry. So, yeah, you must be really proud of the team you got.
Yeah, it is. And it's not only, those. I've got a stable lady there, Amanda. She's been there nearly 10 years as well. There's plenty of others behind the scenes that have been there. Obviously, Chris Judd, he's been our farrier for a long time, and everyone that helps out. It's not just a matter of turning up and working the horses. There's a lot that goes on. So yeah, without all those people, my job doesn't work.
Are you that old? Are you? The way you mentioned 10 years and 15 years, it's making you sound old, mate.
Well, I probably don't act my age, but
That's two of us. That's two of us.
you know what, Wono? You only live once, so you got to keep thinking you're young.
Go and enjoy it. That's right, Rick. Well, we'll get straight into Conciliate because she's in the Nutrien Sales Series final for the 2-year-old fillies tomorrow night at Melton. She's come up with the gun draw in Barrier 1 there. She's had 2 starts for 2 wins. How has she travelled down to Victoria?
Yeah, really well, Jess. We got down here last night. She ate up. She had a good drink, and I just gave her a bit of light exercise this morning, and she's happy as Larry. So I'm really, really looking forward to tomorrow night.
As I mentioned there, Barrier 1, what do you make of her chances from the draw?
Look, I think she's a really classy filly, Jess. She can't have done more to date. Like, she's unbeaten. Both her runs have been, really, really impressive. But tomorrow night is it's a next step up for her. So she's going to have to, rise to the occasion again. One of the big factors, I think, is it's 2,200. In New South Wales, we're not even allowed to race over any more than a mile with our babies at this time of year, and then, they throw in a $2,200 Nutrien Final. So all these fillies are going to have to run that extra distance. I don't feel it will worry my filly, but, it's all unknown. But, she's come up with the right barrier draw. She is favourite. I'm super confident. It'll take a nice filly to run her down, and if they do, good luck to them.
Well, you talk about the longer distances. Your horses were pretty prominent on the morning line this morning with BK and Mark Holmes and Ryan Phelan. So talking about the longer distances, you've got a pretty good hand in the Golden Easter Egg, which this year's over 2,300. The reasons for that is that just to season them a little bit more before we come into the New South Wales Oaks next month. But it's also a golden ticket from this race. You've got a very, very good filly, and I mentioned it on the thing, Sugar Pie Honey. There's a real, I suppose, not a battle, but there's these 2 great fillies, Gonna Reload and Sugar Pie Honey at the moment, and there's that competitive edge that you're both at the moment so close in ability, both excellent fillies. You've got a long year ahead of you with these 2 fillies, and this is the start of it, the Golden Easter Egg. What are you? I know you're drawn a little bit wide with Sugar Pie Honey, but how will she handle the longer trip?
I think that the longer trip will definitely not affect her. She's quite a strong filly. She hasn't drawn the best with Will's filly, Gonna Reload, drawing underneath her, and the Clayton and Emma's one. I just can't think of the name off the top of my head. But, yeah, like you say, they're 2 very nice fillies. Not only have they got similar ability, they also look the same. They got a big white face and white back feet, and we had a better barrier draw than her last year in the Breeders' Challenge Final and had the upper hand, and she had the cold sit on us the other night and ran over the top of us at Bathurst. So, like you say, these 2 fillies are going to have numerous duels throughout this season, and it's going to come down to luck in running and the best horse on the night. So, yeah, I don't think the trip will affect either of them.
Both Sweet Lose as well. He's certainly making his mark among these juveniles, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He's one of the top stallions now, and he's leaving, top-class winners in both hemispheres, and, you're always happy to have a Sweet Lou in your stable.
Sugar Pie Honey, she took out last year's New South Wales Breeders' Challenge Final for the 2-year-old fillies. Of course, as Wono mentioned before, the Golden Easter Egg carries a golden ticket into the New South Wales Oaks Final. Will we see her head down that path and then towards a Breeders' Challenge series later in the season?
Yeah, so the program for her this year was to get through Bathurst into the New South Wales Oaks, into the Queensland Oaks, then a let up, and then New South Wales Breeders' Challenge. So all being well, keeping her fit, sound and healthy, that's her targets.
It's a pretty big year, isn't it? But they're 2 very exciting fillies, Jess. I really enjoy the challenges these 2 are going to have over the next 6 to 8 months. Amazing. Mate, who's probably the biggest danger? Now, I picked these 2, the 2 New South Wales horses, and as I said on the show, it takes a brave person to not tip an Emma Stewart, Luke McCarthy-driven 3-year-old filly that hasn't lost a race yet. But she's only won 2 restricted ones. Is she the danger?
I'm going to mark Gonna Reload as a danger because She has drawn inside both of us, but she holds the key to the race.
She
obviously,
can come
with
out
the
too,
distance,
can't she? Gunner relay
yeah,
can
she's
lead.
quick out.
Yeah.
It can lead. Our filly's quick out, and we'll be coming out all guns blazing. Will's got the options. Does he hold the front and have a solidly run 2300, or does he hand over to something and have a cold sit on us again? Will definitely holds the key to the race, and I'm not sure which option he'll take, but we'll head forward and look for a forward position, and like I said, the best horse will win.
Rickie, yesterday here at the Club Menangle Trials, one of your stable stars made her return to the track, and I'm speaking of Luxa Turner. It was her first time back at the track since July last year. You must have been happy to have her at the trials.
Yeah, I was, and a bit relieved actually to get it here, Jess. She's such a special filly to our stable and the owners, the Laspinas. She did go a little bit of a miss in Queensland last year. She had knee surgery. She had 4 months off, and it's been a slow process back to this stage. We've done it purposely, and I was really happy with the way she trialled, and really happy with the way she recovered and pulled up, and the condition she's in. So yeah, look, she looks for a race return real soon.
I'm not going to surmise anything, but would she be ready for the Riverina Championships, or will you wait maybe for some of those races leading into like the Sibelia and Robin Dundee?
No, look, she'll go to Wagga, so I've ended her. I put a nomination this morning. Unfortunately for Wagga, they've only come up with 8 mares in that series, so I'm not 100% sure, but the way I see it is they'll have a prelude and then just a straight-out final next week with the same horses. Look, she probably has only had the one trial. Another trial would have been ideal, but, I mean, a small 8-horse field will just be treated like a trial. Then into that series, Luke's mare obviously is the class runner and will take a lot of beating, but
I keep smiling, yeah.
I keep smiling. Yeah, she was there. Everard, David Thorne's filly, and Luxa Turner, and look, she is going really well. It's very hard for these juvenile fillies that were so dominant as 2 and 3 year olds. With the way the national ratings is now, they get on such a hard mark. Like, she's a 96 rater, so she's come straight out of 3-year-old Oaks racing, straight into the best mares, in the country. It does take a little bit of seasoning, but I'm sure she's good enough to do it. As we know, she's already broke 50, and I'm sure she'll do it again. But yeah, it's hard to just throw them in the deep end, but she's going to have to.
Hey, mate, Melbourne sales are there Sunday, Nutrien sales after the Friday night finals. You're hanging around for the weekend because you are a very active participant at all these horse sales. You do have a tendency to raise that right hand or left one. Anything you're looking for down there, or are you going to be active there on Sunday?
Yeah, you should put your hand up, Wono, and take a share in one. It'd be good to have a bit of local interest.
Oh, I put my hand up for too many things, I can tell you that. I was even cleaning the stables there on Tuesday for a little while, but so there's a couple you're looking at down there?
Yeah, look, I'm a believer of you need, particularly with my business model, is we need the younger horses coming through because that's where you get your next good horse from. We don't have a lot of older horses that just go through those, your 45 grades, on a regular basis. We try to look for good juvenile horses, and if you don't keep them coming through, you'll never get one. So, look, we're active at every sale. We do buy and syndicate, so there's always shares available in horses, and we also have our own, clients that like to go and just purchase horses on their own. But, yeah, definitely looking because we're always after that next good horse.
Mate, do you have anywhere where you can advertise, that the shares available? Do you have, Rickie Alchin Racing Stables website that we can push along?
Yeah, I've got a website and also, social media. It's not super easy to get people to take shares in horses because the thoroughbred market's I would say, so far ahead of ours when it comes to syndications and things like that. They have syndicate managers and things pushing them. whereas we take it all on ourselves. But yeah, I definitely do advertise through socials and things like that, and we're always open for new clients to come on board.
Mate, you've had an amazing run the last so many years with your juvenile horses. With people listening, please reach out to Rickie, because his success rate with these younger horses, Jess, is amazing. And like racing these Group 1 ways, he's not afraid to travel. You've got a good horse, will travel, and you have to do that. And just look at the success in all the Group 1 races he's won over the last few years with these young horses. And it's pretty lucrative too, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, you're fortunate to have good clients that breed or buy good quality, well-bred horses. It's not always the case, but the cream does rise to the top a lot of the time. So, we're lucky to have that, but you still got to get the job done. And I pride myself in being able to get young horses in these big races. And obviously, you need luck with barrier draws and things like that. But we'll keep running up and we'll keep doing our best.
Rickie, thank you so much for joining us on the Menangle Angle today, and we wish you and all your team the best of luck this coming weekend.
No worries. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Wono.
No worries. Thanks, mate. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, Wono, an 8-race card coming up from Club Menangle this Saturday night, and we've gone to the earliest starting and finishing time this week, in that the first race gets underway at 5:45 p.m. The last race is set to get underway at 9:37 p.m, and our meeting is headlined by the Club Menangle Golden Easter Egg, which is a listed classic for the 3-year-old fillies, and the winner also receives a golden ticket into the New South Wales Oaks Final, so plenty on offer there for the winner of that event.
Yeah, look, and you get to choose what way you want to go into the New South Wales Oaks, and you get the golden ticket straight, or the golden Easter egg ticket, straight into the New South Wales Oaks. And there's a big change on it this year. It's over 2,300. So it gives those fillies a bit of grounding going into the New South Wales Oaks, because a lot of our racing is over the sprint trips, but it does give them some good grounding going into that. But it's a really, really good race, and so it should be.
We also have a special race on the card as well, and that's race 6, the IRT Tailor-Made Lombo Ladyship Pace. We heard the sad news filtering through last week that sadly Tailor-Made Lombo had passed away at the age of 30, and she was just an incredible, not only race mare, but also brood mare as well, the talent that she produced in the breeding barn as well, and it's great that the club's going to honour her as well.
Yeah, and look, what she could have earned with the prize money that the mares get today compared to then. Like, she was $1 million earner back then when she had to do the majority of her racing for any of the good money was against the boys. The opportunities that are there for the mares today, God, I wish the connections, I wish they were going around now, because she would have probably doubled the prize money she ended up getting. But what a fantastic, I think she started in a couple of Miracle Miles, won a couple of Ladyship Miles. And the Miracle Miles, House of Lancelots and stuff, horses like that, like really, really strong time she was racing in, and she was fantastic. I think she won an Australian Derby. I think she beat the boys.
Yeah.
In the Australian Derby, just a fantastic mare. And I remember her fondly. She was an exciting horse.
Race 1 this Saturday night is the Cordina Chicken Factory Outlet Pace. It's to be run over the mile journey, and it's for a national rating up to 95 here. And 2 horses that really stood out to me. They're drawn alongside each other in the 4 and 5 here. And number 4 is No Heartthrob for Jason Grimson and Jack Callaghan. He was the bridesmaid at his last 2 outings, but looking at his last start there, he was the runner-up to Timmy Richter in the Autumn Gift Final. And I have no doubt he gets the opportunity here to break back into the winner's circle. And Ravishing Sloy, he's been racing in really strong form his last 4 starts with 2 wins and a 3rd and also a 2nd placing.
Yeah, look, I'm going Ravishing Sloy. I think we tipped him last week. He was a bit of each way value. I think it was Ryan Gangster got up on the rails and knocked him off, but he's racing good form. Kevin Pizzuto has a really big opinion of the horse. I think it'll be really hard to beat. And I think he may have Luke McCarthy down at the moment.
That's correct.
It's interesting. So he loses nothing with Luke, does he? Absolutely. So, Ravishing Sloy each way.
Race 2's thebestinbeds.com.au pace over the 2,300 metres, and it's Division 1 of the up to 80. Quiet Storm's drawn barrier 7 for Rickie Alchin and Will Ricson, and he's really struck a great run of form here. He's had 2 wins, and then he was narrowly beaten last Saturday night by Double Fear in a 150 mile, but I'd have to suggest that Jarl O'Neill for Blake Fitzpatrick would be another danger in this race after a strong performance winning here on Tuesday.
Yeah, it looked really strong for Zara on Tuesday because that was a very good race for a Tuesday race. I think it was Ever Art and El Camino, which are Saturday night horses. So, yeah, that was a really strong performance for young Zara. Good drive. But, yeah, probably Quiet Storm. It's got the Saturday night form, 2 wins and a second. Its last 3. Got the giraffe on, Will Rixon, so doesn't he hurt his chances at all.
Race 3 is the Confederate standing at Cobbity Equine Farm free-for-all to be run over the 1,609 metres here, and the short price favourite with on the tab fixed odds market is currently number 10, I'm the Falcon, for Jason Grimson and Jack Callaghan, and he definitely deserves to be that quote, but I think one that you're really going to give a strong push towards is Terry. I know he's a favourite of yours, and I'm going to have to follow along with JOK there despite the wide draw of 9. I think his sectionals have still been fantastic last time out, finishing 3rd there behind Max Delight and Swayze last Saturday night. And before that, his sectionals were absolutely flying in his last few starts.
Just another one you highlighted, Jess, and they come out and won at good odds, JOK and your sectional stars. There's 2 scratchings in this race, so it actually changes this race a little bit. I still think I'm the Falcon will come out and he'll find the front. He's going to be immensely hard to beat, and $1.35 suggests that. But Terry, Josh Gallagher, he was driven a little bit different to the way he normally is last week. He sat park, which probably not his go. He's going to be 2 fence, at worst 3 fence. Josh Gallagher back in the sulky. That's where he races best. Yeah, I'm not saying he can beat I'm the Falcon, but I think you're playing the exotics. You've got to include Terry in that. And there's another one there, Pete said so, with the smaller field. I'm sure he seems to pop up when you least expect it, Pete said so. But I'm the Falcon, really hard to beat.
Race 4 is the multi-quip aggregates pace over the 2,300 metres, and it's the Division 2 of the national rating up to 80, and Has the Courage has drawn barrier 6. He will move into barrier 5 with the scratching of Tishan Raider. But we spoke to Robbie Morris last week here on the Menangle Angle, and he gave a really strong push for this horse last Saturday as his best chance on the card, or best value play of the card. I know he was one of my sectional stars of maybe a month or so ago as well. And
he was
off his run last Saturday night. He beat home the likes of Terry and Mac Da Vinci. I know Mac Da Vinci carried a flat tyre, but this is a significant drop in grade from racing those horses that are regularly up there in the free-for-all grade.
Yeah, I really like Has the Courage. Once again, he's a horse that he produces the results when you least expect it to. But you highlighted his sectional as one of the sectional stars. Robbie would really liked his opportunities last week at good value, and that's what he was. He comes second. I think he'll go one better this week in this race. Has the Courage.
Race 5 is the feature event on Saturday night's card. It's the Club Menangle Golden Easter Egg, a listed classic over the 2,300 metres. And as I spoke about earlier on, this race carries a golden ticket for the winner into the New South Wales Oaks Final. So there's plenty on offer for the winner of this event. And what an incredible field has been assembled of 3-year-old fillies to contest this race. And the first one I'm going to speak about is number 3, Gonna Reload, for Peter and Will Rixon. Last start out at Bathurst, she took out the $100,000 gold bracelet, and I know you spoke earlier on about what an incredible drive that was by Will, and she really powered to the line in that race. Number 4, Love the Nightlife, for Emma Stewart and Luke McCarthy, a Eureka winning combination there for the trainer and driver. But Love the Nightlife, she's impeccably bred, being by Poster Boy out of Kabbalah Karen B, which makes her a half-sister to Ladies in Red and Our Little General. So absolutely incredibly bred there, and she's had 2 starts for 2 wins. And then Rickie Alchin, who we spoke to earlier on in the show, has Sugar Pie Honey engaged. She's drawn barrier 11 there, will move in 2 barriers with the removal of the emergencies, and Ash Delos is set to take the reins, and we saw that combination take out the New South Wales Breeders' Challenge final together last year for the 2-year-old fillies.
Look, the early markets, Love the Nightlife. Emma Stewart, Luke McCarthy. It's the early favourite, but it has been a little bit of movement, so it's got out a little bit. And Gunner Reload was $4 something. It's into $3.80 at the moment with the TAB fixed odds. I like Gunner Reload. I think there's some great clashes coming up this year between Gunner Reload and Sugar Pie Honey, both New South Wales Breeders' Challenge filly. They had some good clashes last year. They're going to have a lot more this year. But just the barrier draw this week with Gunner Reload, she can lead. The $3.80, she's a bit better priced, and that's probably because she's drawn inside the other two. Takes a brave person, of course, to tip against an Emma Stewart, trained 3-year-old filly that hasn't tasted defeat yet, but I'm going to reload this week.
Race 6 is the IRT Tailor-Made Lombo Ladyship Pace over the mile journey for the national rating up to 85 mares. And Jolita and Maria Alagonda have been racing in the fast class division of the mares races. And I really think they're the two strongest fancies in this race here. But I know that I also identified Ideal in Dreams as my sectional star, and she's drawn out there wide in barrier 10.
The thing is, you do these... the sectional stars, yes. I don't want to tip against them because you just nail them within that week or two. You just nail it every week, and it's going to be. She's drawn wide. I sort of don't want to tip her, but like you, yeah, it's hard to stay away. And as I said, Ash's got the drive. She's driving fantastic at the moment, Ash. But I'm a little bit of a Jolita and Maria Alagonda, like you said. Which one do I go for? Look, Maria was one of my each way specials last week. I got to stay. She got out of the ground a little bit in that race. Jolita's like, look at that 3-5-4-3-4. Like, you can't knock that sort of form in the higher grade. They come back to their own grade this week. Oh, God, it's hard. The brother might beat the sister, although Hannah will want to dispute that, but I think the brother might beat the sister, Maria Alagonda.
Race 7 is the Pride's Easy Feed Pace. It's the equivalent of a Metro Maiden, and it's over the 1,609 metre trip. And it's a very even affair on paper, but I've gone the way of number 9, Sev, for Adam Regari and Jack Callaghan. He's won his last two, and he was very dominant in winning last week at Newcastle in 153-6.
Yeah, look, I'm a little bit scared stiff.
Yeah.
I sort of half tipped it a few weeks ago in that final with Timmy Richter. Got out of its ground a little bit, so got a bit back. But that was a really, really strong race. The week before, he only went down like a metre to Timmy Richter. As I said before with Timmy Richter, they're talking about Eureka. Scared Stiff should go. He's drawn really good. Chris Geary takes the reins. Geez, we've got some great young drivers coming through. There's Chris Geary. He's driving well, driving winners all the time. So I like Scared Stiff in this race. Barrier 2, yeah, I have a little bit on him.
The final event on Saturday night's card is the Ultra Air Trotters Mobile over the 2,300 metres here, and I'm straight away drawn to number 7, London to a Brick for James Rattray. He's been incredible this preparation. He's got a second in the Group 1 Hammerhead Trotters Mile here on Miracle Mile Night, and last Saturday night he broke back into the winner's circle, and he looked so impressive in doing so.
Massive upset if he doesn't win. London to a Brick just should win that.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Wono, who's your best on the card?
Well, I'll use the name, but in a different way. I'm not Scared Stiff to tip. Scared Stiff as my best bet. I really like him in that race. I just think it's a winnable race and there's a little bit of value. Yeah, you got your London Tour Bricks and stuff like that, but he'll be really sure this week. I think there might be a little bit of each way value about Scared Stiff for the Jared Alchin and Chris Geary, race 7, number 2.
Race 7, number 2 there for Wono was his best bet, and my best bet comes up in race 8, number 7, London to a Brick. I know Wono just mentioned he'll be really short there, which I anticipate he will be, but
you're very brave.
Very brave. Oh. Very brave. But I've been so impressed by him this time in, and his win last Saturday night here will suggest that he should be able to go back to back from barrier 7.
He's heading towards the end of Dominion, so yeah, he should be winning that.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, Wono, next Tuesday, it's the MacArthur Bulls Family Fun Day here on track in conjunction with our Tuesday afternoon race meeting. There's going to be plenty of action out here, free family fun for everyone that wants to come out and get involved. There'll be soccer ball drills. There'll be the chance to meet some of the Macarthur Bulls stars of their team, and you'll also get a chance to snap a selfie with Arthur, their friendly mascot. So that'll be a great time. And there's also face painting, kids pony rides. So there's plenty happening here on track.
Oh, they got sausage sizzle. I hope they've got a sausage.
There's going to be a sausage sizzle.
Yes, I'm there. I love a sausage sizzle on a Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, you got me. I'm going to beat the Macarthur Bulls right at the sausage sizzle tent.
And as I mentioned, it's the best thing that I saw this week. Coots pacing for Pink Race Night on Saturday, the 10th of May. Tickets are really starting to sell fast, both in the Miracle Mile restaurant and also up there in the Pink Affair charity dinner. So if you are wanting to get involved and attend that night, make sure you head to the Club Menangle website to book those tickets because they won't be there for long. Well, Wono, it's been great to catch up with you again this week. It was fantastic to speak with Rickie ahead of what is a really busy weekend coming up for him and his team. Some great horses engaged from his stables located just there across the road here at Menangle, and it's going to be a great night of racing here. And, of course, we get to see the time-honoured Golden Easter egg with another winner added to that honour roll.
Yeah, it's a great time of year, all these juveniles putting their hands up. It's good to see, after all that work, these trainers and owners, all the money they've poured into them, a lot of it coming to fruition. So I really enjoy this time of year with all these young horses, 2 and 3 year olds coming around.
And next Thursday, unfortunately, we won't be having a show. Wono's going for a short let-up because we're not racing here on the Saturday night. Attention turns down to Riverina Paceway, where the Riverina Championships for those 4 and 5 year olds will take centre stage. So Wono's heading off. He's going for a little break away from Club Menangle. So we're going to give the show a miss next week, but we'll be back again for the week after.
Father-daughter trip. We do our yearly trip with my youngest girl, Jonty. So used to be a bit cheaper because when we used to do these, we go to Melbourne when she was 13 or 14. It was all good. It was, at Sports Girl and places like that.
Yeah.
Now we go to Jimmy Choo and all this. And I'm still supplying the credit card, and she's got a full-time job. I don't get it, but she just smiles and says, "I love you, Dad." And of course, the credit card comes straight out. She knows how to spend it. But
what are dads for?
Oh, that's what we're here for. That's what we put on the earth, us dads.
Well, it was great to speak with you today. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to the Menangle Angle. We hope you have a great Saturday night here at Club Menangle, and we'll catch you in a fortnight's time when we're back here racing at Club Menangle. We'll see you then.